Well, here we are in another new year, and this Tang Time is brought to you, well, not sponsored by Pomelo Tang and Bar Gin. Not a bad combination. Welcome to Tang Time. This is basically New Year's. It's kind of the early January, and Valentine's Day is my anniversary of moving here. So we are doing a kind of end of the year wrap up. Happy New Year, happy anniversary, all that good stuff. This coming Valentine's is 7 years. 7 years? What? Okay, does that sound like a long time to you? Because it kind of does to me. I'm thinking 7 years? It doesn't feel like it's been that long at all. And I know that's part of getting old, because you're like, wait, last month was Christmas. How is it Christmas again? You know, when you get old, time flies. But 7 years? That's a long time. And let's see, basic wrap up, still having fun, still miss my kids. Those aren't going to change over the next year, I don't think. I believe that's going to stay the same. Such is life. That is a decision you have to make before you move 8,000 miles away. I have discussed the possibility of moving back to the city, and one of the neighbors, he was like shocked, because Melanie posted something on Facebook about it a while back that we're thinking about. She was like, oh, time to move back to the city. And one of the neighbors comes up and he's like, how could you do that? This is your home. It's all family here. This is your home. And I didn't really say it to him, but I was kind of thinking, if staying home and with the family was of major importance, I'd still be in Texas. I mean, I like family. I was a single father for many years. I enjoyed my kids. I love my kids. The grandkids seem pretty cool because I finally met them. But that part of my life, they've grown up, they've moved on, they're starting their own families. So it's kind of time for me. It's the empty nest syndrome. It's the I'm getting close to retirement. What do I want to do? This seemed like a good option. And so leaving all of the comforts and the safety and the support of friends, family, and all that in your home country and coming here is a huge step. It was an easy step for me, but I guess it's a huge step. It was so easy for me to do it, it didn't seem like a huge step. But to go from here 8 miles back into the city, dude, that's not that big a deal, you know? So he's like, how could you leave this? I'm like, this rice field? Pretty easily. But I will say, the other day I was coming through and man, people I don't even recognize. They're cousins, and I'm sure I've sat around and had drinks with them. I don't know. Guys I don't even know are coming up. Hey, Tim, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, well, how you doing? Everyone's talking to me. They know my name. It is kind of neat. Everyone here is very friendly. In our little area, pretty much everyone's kind of related for the most part. I think the whole country is cousins, really. This little neighborhood I like. I like the people. They're friendly. Everyone's nice. One of the grandmothers brought over a guntung of rice, some pancit noodles, like ramen noodles, a package of instant coffee, just some little grocery items. She was handing them out to all the different neighbors. And I thought that was pretty cool. She brought us some groceries, and it's rice that they grew right here in their rice field. So, all of that's kind of neat. It's fun being accepted in and part of here. They're having a New Year's party we're invited to. We had them over for a Christmas party, had the whole neighborhood over here for Christmas. And it's all pretty fun. And it's nice that everyone knows me and they seem to like me well enough, or they at least tolerate me with a smile. But moving to the city, I make friends anywhere I go, so I'll be okay. And we're still toying with the idea. This coming year, we're going to decide if we're going to do it or not. And I've got to say, I enjoy not paying rent. I mean, I really like it. That's something to consider. What were the major changes this year? Oh, well, I retired. That was cool. Last year, I went back to the U.S. for a visit. Got to meet my grandchildren for the first time, which was very cool. They seem to be okay. So if my kids are turning out kids that are pretty cool, I guess I must have done at least a half-assed decent job of raising my kids. So see, it's a good thing. When you meet the grandkids, I think it kind of lets you see what kind of parent you were. I don't know. We'll find out. They seemed pretty cool. It was nice visiting the family. And I filed all my paperwork for retirement. After I'd planned the trip, I found out I could have done it through the mail. I thought I would be able to, but when I emailed them and asked them about it, they said no. When I called to make my appointment, they go, oh yeah, you could do it through the email. I was like, okay. But by then I decided I want to go back to the U.S. because I hadn't been back in so many years. I've been here 7 years. I've made 2 trips back to the U.S. is all. So it was time. First trip was for my daughter's wedding. This trip was to meet the grandkids. She's been busy. So the retirement kicked in finally. The first retirement. It's a small retirement from the school district. I worked there 15 years, but it wasn't long enough. I'd have to have stayed till 65 to get a good retirement. I took a huge hit moving early. I retired early, basically just quit work 6 years before I could retire. To get a good retirement, I would have had to have stayed till I was 60 or 65. I left at 48. The base retirement is at 55, which is what I just did. And you're going, he's 55? Gosh, he doesn't look a day under 70. Yeah, I know. It's a tough life. So the retirement kicked in. It's a small check, but it all adds up. It helps. I'm using my new light, and it seems to be messing with the focus of my camera. We'll see how this works. We may not use this light very much if it's going to be as bad as what it looks like on a monitor, but I digress. We retired this year. That's a good thing. So we do have more money. So we could pay rent in the city and not really miss it. Or we could stay here and use the money for more traveling, which is what we've kind of been doing. What did we do this year? After retiring, we only went to Boracay twice. Should have gone more. I guess twice a year is probably enough, to this beautiful resort island. One of the best beaches in the world. Went to the Antique province twice. Once just to go visit family, once with another expat who's a subscriber I met. We went to Tibiao and Kulasi and had some fun there. We've done a couple little weekend trips just to San Joaquin, like 4 towns over, to visit another friend who I met through this channel. So as I said, I make no money on this, but meeting the people has been pretty cool. And I've actually, got some friends I hang out with that I met through the channel. So that's really fun. I'm doing this just as a hobby, and if it's a hobby that lets me meet people, so much better. So let's see, subscribers met. There was, last year was Charlie and Ray, but Ray came back for another visit because he has family nearby. Charlie has become a friend that we go spend time with a lot. We've done trips with them. You've seen the videos when we went to look at the clay pots and such. Jim from New Jersey, and he lives here on the island, other side of the mountains. Met him, he went to go to immigration, so I just went to the highway, he picked me up, went into the city, did immigration, did lunch, had a nice visit. On his way home, he dropped me off. That was cool. Yesterday, I met Nick from Australia, who also is building a house on the other side of Iloilo. He's married, kids, family, and all that. They're building a house here, and he brought me chocolates. I'm easy. And then there's Tim from, I think, Connecticut. He talks about different New England places. Came here for a 2-week visit and has been here for, I don't know, 4 months or something now. He got rented a condo, and so we hang out a few times a month anyway. So it's been really cool. Met a few subscribers this year. And this is not an area that gets a whole lot of tourists coming through. This is not like Cebu, Manila. You know, this is an out-of-the-way airport. You're not going to come here for a connecting flight. This is kind of the end of the road. So if they're coming here to check it out, it's great to meet them. If they're in Manila, Cebu, this is kind of out of the way. So I'm surprised I've met as many as I have, but they're mostly all from around here or have family from around here. Tim from Connecticut, not Tito Tim, the other Tim, we went to Tibiao Fish Spa and that island off of Colossi I can't remember the name of now. We did a trip with them. I posted videos for that. He came here he had a whole list of places to check out. And somehow, by watching my videos, I guess, and others, he decided to check out Iloilo. We came for 2 weeks and stayed. And if it doesn't work out, I hope he doesn't blame me. It's not my fault, man. But I enjoy meeting the subscribers. It's been a lot of fun. Taken a few trips. Not as many as I wanted. Like I said, it was a couple trips to Boracay, a couple trips to Antique, which is the other side of this island. Bacolod. We've got it's not really a trip because it's just here in Iloilo, but we got an overnight coming up for Dinagyang. The videos for that should be processing now, although it hasn't actually happened the date I'm filming this. Movie magic. It's a big festival, and we're getting a hotel to hang out up there so we can stay and see more of it. Getting a press pass and all that fun stuff. So this has been a good year. It's been fun. Met some people, had some trips, enjoyed having extra money because that extra retirement check, it is a very small check because I took a huge, huge hit by leaving work 15 years early. But I don't care. I've had 7 good years here. So often you see these guys that retire at 60, 65, and they come over here and they're too old, they're too wore out, they're too sick, whatever, to enjoy it. Or they get here and they're here for a year or two and then they die. Because unfortunately, most of us getting older, this is a fact of life. And man, I'm glad I came early. I can't recommend it to you because if you take a huge hit on your retirement, it will affect their quality of life for the rest of your life. And this is going to be something, if I live to be 80, I could look back and go, yeah, I shouldn't have quit work at 48. But right now, I'm enjoying it. And I'm not one that usually looks back with regrets. If the trip has been nice, I'm okay with the destination, man. The means determine the end, you know? Plans for this coming year. Don't have any. I did a video talking about some plans for improving the house. We were going to add on a room. I wanted to do something to kind of soundproof this bedroom a little bit because some of the neighbors are getting really, really loud. But then we're talking about maybe moving to the city. So if we're going to move, we're not going to add any improvements to the house. So we need to decide what we're going to do. Depends on what day you ask me, you know? Some people say we should get a car, but the only driving I would really do is just to the city and back, and that's the worst part of the drive. Driving out around the island would be nice, and I would enjoy that. Driving into the city would suck. So, not real sold on the car idea. It was one of the options we considered. I like my little neighborhood for the most part, but would like it better if it moved to the city. We can't move the whole neighborhood to the city. That would be complicated and probably expensive and probably impossible. We could move to the city. We may or may not. We're still up in the air. I mean, I don't plan anything. You can look at the way I moved over here and you can tell I plan nothing. I just go with the flow. I kind of Homer Simpson my way through life, you know? What? You haven't been on the space shuttle? You know, I just kind of go with the flow, man. So, rent in the city may have gone up. We were paying 6,500 pesos, which is what? I'm not doing math while I'm drinking. $150 or something, whatever, for a 2-bedroom apartment. Nothing fancy, but it's not bad. We had the living room, kitchen, decent bathroom, bedroom, my office. It was a nice setup and cheap. So we could do this for a couple $100. We could be in the city. But while in the city, when you're not home, you're spending money. So it would cost a lot more to actually live there because we're going to spend a lot more. We're going to taxi a lot more. We're going to eat out a lot more often, more movies. You know, it would be fun, but it would be hard to plan a budget in advance because once you start going and spending the money and having fun, who knows? I like where we are for the most part, but I end up an hour each way on that jeepney. And this week I did it 3 times. It's like I feel like I live on the jeepney sometimes. So we're toying with moving. We're wishy-washy. Some people have commented, just move. Others are like, you're in a nice neighborhood. Both are true. So no hurry. I'll decide whenever, you know? I'm easy. We don't really have any travel plans for this year yet. We need to go somewhere. Give me some vacation ideas. She still wants to do Bohol. She wants to go see those monkeys with the big eyes, the Tarsier or whatever monkeys. That would be fun. My first year here, when I wasn't doing videos, we did Manila, Palawan, Underground River, Boracay, Bacolod, Mambakol, in Bacolod. That one I did film. It was one of my first videos. We did a bunch of trips that first year because I was brand new and we're like, hey, let's go look around. And we traveled all over, had a great time. I want to do that again this year. Not sure where to go. Our last trip to Manila, I actually really enjoyed because we stayed in Ermita. We were right by Rizal Park, the aquarium, the U.S. Embassy. There's a couple of malls right nearby. I mean, everything we needed was right in one place. The Divisoria Market was one jeepney ride that way. The other market that I always forget the name of, what is the name of that market? Is that same jeepney that goes to Divisoria. You go this way, Baclaran, that's it. Same jeepney, other direction, Takes you one ride to either one of those crazy big shopping districts. That Ermita area was really nice. But we have no particular reason to go to Manila other than shop. So I'm not sure that we're going to do that. I would enjoy it. Melanie's family does have a big sari-sari store that is also like, it's a big cement one. It was a little bamboo thing. They tore it down, put in a nice big cement building. So it's like the big sari-sari store of the neighborhood. You know, every neighborhood has that big one. They got it. It's right next to the water processing store that they also own. They're doing well. They've got an OFW sister that's investing, and she's kicking ass. Good job. But sometimes we go buy shoes, clothes, what have you, to send down there. We went to the city recently, bought a couple cases of apples, a case of oranges, a case of grapes, just put them all on a van, sent them down to Antique, up to Antique, yeah, north, up, whatever. And so they're selling those out there at their store, because where they are, good apples and oranges and grapes are very hard to get, so they get to mark them up quite a bit. If we go to Baclaran, they sell wholesale goods. They're in Manila, and we can buy like a whole bags, you know, dozens of shoes and stuff. Send them there, and they can sell them. So we could make that could be an excuse for a trip, because I enjoy Manila now that I know where to go. First time we went to the wrong neighborhood. We spent 2 hours in trains and jeepneys to get anywhere, and I was like, oh, this place is crowded, I hate it. But once you learn the neighborhoods and you stay in the neighborhood you're going to be visiting and shopping and what have you, Manila is actually not bad. I'd like to go back to Subic, because I haven't been there since the Navy days. Me and a friend of mine are talking about going to Angeles, just because I've never been, and the wives are both like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I don't think that trip's going to happen. Sounded good, didn't it? So we have no plans for this year, man. We should come up with something. Like I said, we're toying with the idea of moving back to the city, but we haven't really even seriously discussed it. We're just kind of like, yeah, you know, that could work, which is not how you plan anything. We have no vacations planned. We have nothing planned for this year. Welcome to retirement. It's really a good thing. I'm like, I don't know. We'll do something. I'm sure we'll have some fun. And we'll bring the camera with us on our fun. I have no idea what we're doing this year. We have to at least go to Boracay, because I go every year, at least once, because I love it. It's the beach that the expats love to hate, but I just love it. Don't need to hear the hate, because I love it. If it's not your kind of beach, that's fine. There's other places. We need to go to the Isla Gigantes, the gigantic isle. It's up towards Estancia, North Iloilo. We almost went and spent Christmas there, because one of the cousins was going to see some family up there and stay with them. And it's a good thing we didn't, because if you paid attention to the news, Christmas had a huge typhoon. Well, I think it was just a tropical storm. I don't think it ever got quite typhoon status, but some pretty fucked up rain. Went on the exact same path that Yolanda took a few years back. Not as strong, but it was all these same places, and it went right through where we would have been for Christmas. So that could have turned out to be a bummer for Christmas. And then the next day they had an earthquake. Woohoo! Yeah, fun, right? So I'm glad we stayed here. We were going to use that as an excuse because we want to go to the island because it's supposed to be beautiful. But I'm thinking during a, big tropical storm, not the best time to enjoy it. But we didn't know the storm was coming. So we do want to go there eventually. We've been talking, it's just right up the road, a couple hours away. We've talked about it for 7 years and haven't done it. I think we're both lazy. in a way. We're kind of like, yeah, we'll do something. I don't know. And someone has to actually plan it so it doesn't happen. Welcome to retirement. It's a beautiful thing. So she's been talking about Bahal, Chocolate Hills, Tarsier monkeys, all that good stuff. We may do that, but we've been talking about it for 7 years and haven't done it yet. So we may not do it. We've been talking about Isla Gigantes. Again, we've been talking about it for 7 years, and it's only 3 hours away. And we haven't done it yet. So we said we may do that this year. We have no actual plans. Such is life. Retirement's a beautiful thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're going to have some fun. We're going to try and do a little traveling just because we both enjoy it. We just don't know where we're going to go yet. We're going to follow the winds and see what happens, and we're going to bring the camera with us. And wherever we go, there'll be rum to buy and probably a beach to swim at. So, I mean, it's not all bad. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good. I should write the book on how not to retire in the Philippines because I've done everything wrong coming over here without retiring and all that. But it's worked out pretty good for me. So I wouldn't recommend that you do it my way, but I've enjoyed it. We had a fun-filled year. Here's to the next fun-filled year. Happy anniversary. Let's pack and go somewhere. Enjoy your day in paradise.
Thank you, Tito Tim.
Another year. This light refocusing is driving me crazy. I don't know how bad this is going to look. We'll work on this. Oh. I think I need to play with the settings on this light. That's blue. That's kind of a weird tan color. That's almost brown. That's a weird looking color. I can darken it. Yeah, too bright. That's what it was. I think I had it too bright. So we want some light, but not as much as we had. We'll figure it out.